7 watts per kilogram. Marcel Smithers, it's going to be Kutzbertson. Gino's there as well. Penner to the line. Gallegos, 13 watts per kilogram. Least Gallegos looking to take this down. Will Penner get her at the line? No, it's Gallegos. Now it's Harris. Harris goes first. 11 watts per kilogram. I think it's too late.
Well,
over the top. Mika Soderstrom trying to make it happen. Gallegos right at the line, but no. Lucy Harris makes it happen.
Speed Potatoes didn't leave a crumb on the table out here today, and now it's going to be the Polish sensation.
Well, I don't know if Sirski timed that correctly. He backed off. He should have kept on going, but did Don time it? Nobody got it around the line. Nice one by Leah and the restart team to take down that spin cast Preem.
The leg snapper, this is Ed Laverick's wheelhouse.
Laverick has to hold on. He's probably giving everything at the line. No way. It's actually going to be the show.
Gentlemen, Gabby Garrett taking the win here in week 2 of Prestige Series. Andy Gino. So Gino's going to hit out first. That's going to be the first play for second place.
He makes the kick up and over the top. Elise Gallegos showing she's one of the best sprinters. Seconds into shots, looking straight.
Two dogs fighting for a bone, and the third one took it. Yep, there you go.
Did our man with the big jump get the jump on Malore? Is he going to be able to hold on? He tried to get the jump on Malore. Malore, though, he may have timed it just perfectly. Jeff Malore.
Come on, Thomas.
Malore to the line. Thomas Nelson, Malore, but it's going to be Jeffrey Malore. Malore takes it down. Well, welcome everyone to Prestige Race 3 of season number 1. I'm Nathan Guerra, and tonight we officially passed the opening phases of the series. The table is set, statements have been made, and now the pressure starts to build. For those who are here for the first time with Prestige, what exactly is it? Prestige was created to answer a very clear call in cycling esports, a verified premium tier of racing where performance matters, where the individual and squads matter, and where participation directly fuels the sport's growth. There's single-day classic events, no hiding, no long accumulation of points for individuals, just racing that demands execution every time the banner drops. But there are squads chasing the series, individuals chasing preems, and meaningful rewards on a given day in the community. A quick reminder about Lead Out Esports and what's happening with us at Lead Out. Prestige is the first series fully operated under Lead Out platform, a purpose-built system designed specifically for cycling esports, one that brings together organizers, teams, athletes, and fans into a single ecosystem. This is the one-stop shop for premium racing, athlete and team promotion, pro-level broadcast, hosts and analysts who know your racing and your community in a verified environment designed to keep competition fair and exciting. Tonight, race number 3 brings a pretty classic course with a punchy Richmond Worlds. Welcome to race number 3 of Prestige Season 1. Big thank you to our partners that helped make this happen. Verge Sport, Precision Fuel and Hydration, Restart presented by Alex Coe, and the CMS Esports Studios. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Now, I'm going to bring in a familiar face, Dave Toll. It's great to see you, and I'm really excited to get going for race number 3 in Prestige. This is Richmond that we're on today. Oh, I got no audio from you, Dave, just so you know, as a heads up. I'm going to jump to Becca quick and give her our course preview, and then I'll get your audio when we can. Becca, why don't we jump right in and take a look at this course?
Hi, Nathan. Thanks for having me again. Today we're on the Richmond UCI Worlds course. We're going to do 2 laps at 32.6 kilometers total. That's 254 meters. We're going to hit the false flats initially, and that's, I mean, we'll see what we see there. It's a big person's game for that. Then they're going to descend and get ready for the Libby Hill KOM. That's going to be the preem on the first lap. That's a 650 meter climb, averaging just over 6%. But the business end is on the end. You're going to go over the top and then immediately hit the 23rd Street climb, which is, I think, what shot Sagan into the stratosphere in real life. And it is just a short, straight 260 meter, 9% climb, which you immediately descend from and then head up the kind of gentle climb to the finish, but it's going to hurt a lot. And then they've got the fan flats again and they do it all over. So this is going to be an exciting race. I think it's going to favor the people that have 1 to 2 minute power again, and that repeatability, because you got to hit Libby Hill and then you got to hit it again for 23rd Street. So if anybody has the power to do that 23rd Street at full gas, they might be able to stay away through the finish line on the second lap. So exciting to see what happens here.
Becca, why don't you just give us your picks real quick, because we're going to jump right down into the racing.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I actually think that there's a new entry on the men's side, Hayden Pucker. I think that he looks like he's going to have the total raw watts, that he can save some energy on the flats, maybe do something on the downhill. And he's got that short power that I think can make it happen on 23rd Street. And then Camilla Allberg is my choice on the women's side. I was going to go with Gabby because she's a safe choice because she's an all-around badass. But I love not picking the obvious choice in case you haven't gotten that yet. And I think Camilla did amazingly in the first race. And I think she has a shot with her good 1 minute power and her repeatability to do quite well in this race. So
thank you so much, Becca. We'll jump back in with you for some analysis as we go. Let's get right down into the racing. We'll see if we can get a microphone in with Dave in just a moment. But we are out on course with the ladies. And in order to not make it too much of a walkway for anybody who may be able to get away out there today, we do have the Spincast with another Sprint Preem that's going to be matched by lead out as well. $50 to the men, $50 to the women. And we are going to call this one for the ladies at the Broad Street Sprint. Broad Street Sprint for the ladies. This lap right now, Broad Street Sprint, not the Monument, not the one that's coming up, but it is going to be Spincast, Preem, Broad Street, $50. Thanks a lot to the Spincast. Make sure to check them out. Great podcast that is a part of the community, doing all things esports just about every Sunday night. Definitely have a great time listening to them. And they also put up some entries, which was great of them for the last couple of weeks. Been really enjoyable to see them getting involved in the racing. So we'll put that back up on in just a moment. But just so the ladies know, don't let anything get away early on right now, because Broad Street, $50 up for grabs. And I believe we may be getting Dave back. Dave, if I can give a little bit of a try at it. I'll leave your microphone open, Dave, so start talking anytime if you do have something. I do not hear you at this point, though. So we'll start having a conversation if the microphone does stall. But let's go ahead and stick in with the ladies now, as it is going to be Cuthbertson off the front doing what she has been doing in the past. Actually, we saw exactly this from her over in Innsbruck, and it was what caused a breakaway situation that she was able to grab the Preem. She's doing it again. Love to see this from Leah. Absolutely great to see. And Becca, this is what we saw last time. Is it going to be a situation again where she just walks away with this one?
Enough that 13 seconds now. I don't know that anybody's going to be able to catch unless they really want to go early for the sprint. But again, she rides this above her FTP, so it's not the same situation as seeing Gabby walk away from something. But it is something that maybe this is just her specialty. She just wants to get that Preem.
Yeah, I have a feeling this may be a situation where they might not be able to bring her back. It's a great call there, actually. At this amount of time, interesting that nobody wants to do the work, but there is a lot up for grabs at the end. There's a lot of team tactics to be thinking about. We did announce it a little bit, after the start, and they just let her go.
Yeah, it seems like everybody else wants to play the team role. I mean, this isn't that long a race at under 33 kilometers, but I mean, Wahoo, Swedish Swifters, and Rose Beast Mode aren't super far apart. So I guess they don't want to go for the individual win. They want to save it for the team moves, and I respect that choice as a team player myself.
Yeah, 100%. Well, as we watch here, the numbers continue to rise. As we can see, it is going to be 27 seconds, 26 seconds here still at this point. So will we see anyone start to ramp things up behind Liz Van Halen, giving a little bit of push, it looks like here, trying maybe to say, no, this isn't going to just walk away from us. Tomlin also starting to make some move. Bruni, who is my pick, up toward the front end of the pack now at this point as well. Great to see her showing up. It's going to be interesting having her throwing down today, because she is going to be my pick maybe for a win, as Gabby already selected by riders out here today. So I have a feeling, Merle may be somebody that could take this down. She really has an engine on her that can follow moves over and over again. If this ends up in being an attritional sprint at the finish line, which a lot of times Richmond Worlds is, it could be a situation here where Merle could pull something off, as we do have, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 from Rose Beast Mode, I believe, showing up out here. Merle Brune, Lucy, I believe, is out here as well. We do see Gabby showing up, so solid team from them. Still, Leah off the front. This could be interesting if they just continue to let this go. Will Leah get so much time that the rest of the riders, with 40 seconds here at this point, I mean, this could start to become a dangerous move if they start looking at each other later on? You build up a minute and a half by Libby Hill. It's the first time over. This could just be double kudos to her when it comes to the money that's up for grabs. I mean, Becca, this might just be a payday double for Leah, because Libby Hill followed up by Broad Street. I mean, the downhill will bring something back, but I think, Becca, this may be a situation where Gudbranson just is taken to the bait.
I mean, it's possible. However, she is still riding, if you look at her heart rate, in the high 170s. So it's not like she's a giant watt machine. Like, she didn't go to the watt farm like the potatoes, but she's riding pretty much at her limit, and I'm not sure she's going to be able to react as people make moves, as the pack makes moves on the downhill, for instance. I think you're going to see that time come down a lot. But I mean, it would be an awesome story if she did stay away.
Yeah, it would be great if she did stay away. We'll see if she's able to pull this off here, as I think Leah at 263, 177 beats per minute. It's going to be a huge ask in order to try and stay away from this one. But she is, it looks like, going to be able to grab the spin cast sprint if she can continue on with 58 seconds. Broad Street coming up pretty quickly here. I don't think that there is any chance of her getting caught here at this point. So looks like game over for the rest of the crew, with the Broad Street sprint coming right on up in the spin cast. Thanks a lot to them, as we are 26.8 kilometers to go. And Leah here hammering away at 43.8. Very chill back in the pack here with the ladies. Not really making any move. 2.3 watts per kilogram on the front. I mean, they are really not interested in any kind of chase whatsoever. Taking a quick look at them here. I mean, this is Grupo Compacto. Mina Koistinen also here. We can see Gabby Guerra there as well. London, Shanks, Alberg, all together. I think we may be struggling to bring Dave in today, actually. So I think we get to have Becca Neeson as our co-commentary out here today. Becca, you want to take over co-commentary? Because the reality is, I have a feeling that Dave is on a microphone hunt for the rest of the day.
Oh, well, that's a big shoe to fill, but I am happy to try.
We got this out here today. No problem, Becca. As a little bit of move coming in from Coalition here. Who is that making that move? That is going to be, I believe, Tomlin. Tomlin, a rider perhaps to be watching out for here today. That is going to be Vive Tomlin. They start to ramp things up. Cuthbertson does grab that. It looks like Broad Street right now And big thanks to Spincast, $50 as she's going to come across that line and take that down. Nicely done by Cuthbertson, getting the jump on everybody. There is the banner up ahead. And Spincast Sprint Preem. No sprint, actually, as this is the second time she's done this to everybody, actually, just walking away with it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody probably has their eye on that Preem that's coming up at Libby Hill. And they know that coming into that Preem with a group might be helpful because it's kind of a gentle start to the KOM and then the business end once you hit the cobbles. And I think everybody is aiming for that and maybe not really worried about this first Preem, or maybe people weren't paying attention when you called it. So there's two possibilities. But Leah, she just seems to be a chaos monkey. That seems to be her role within the team, which I respect.
Yeah. Well, big cash there, $50 prize. Spincast gets to get thrown down for Leah there. Nicely done at the 25-kilometer mark. Now we do see a little bit of ramping up behind, but it looks like Leah's going to take that down. I did hear a little bit of a trainer in the background here with Gara making a little bit of moves. She is in the same room here. And nothing really, though, ramping up. You know, Becca, what is going on here? Is this going to just be Grupo Compacto until we hit Libby Hill?
I would anticipate either a team that has a group move on the downhill. So this new pack dynamics is a little bit sticky, so you really have to push like hard to break the draft. If somebody wanted to go directly before the downhill, which is essentially where Leah is right now, so just about 8.2 kilometers, I would expect to see either a move there by the whole team or everybody just waits until Libby Hill. And Libby Hill followed by 23rd Street is such a double punch that I think waiting for that moment might make sense. They do have to claw back a little bit of that time to Leah, though, because it's getting up to 1:30. That's a little bit too much to close.
Yeah, and with it being on the first lap, I mean, KOM, now here we go. Now the moves are starting to be made here. They want to start ramping things up just a little bit. I have a feeling that Hermansen now, she's going to be one that really starts to ramp it up a little bit. Looks like 5-6 watts per kilometer. Here comes Tiffany Penner now up and over the top. Nice little move from Tiffany Penner as she looks to maybe try and get a move moving across. That's going to be your current Canadian national champion, covered quickly by Tomlin. Tomlin now up over the top. This is going to be right on into the downhill, and there is a strategy here, isn't there, Becca, where as you head into these downhill, you carry a little bit of speed, you can get some roll-through situations where you situation, actually. And as it goes here, it looks like onto that downhill, the ladies now starting to make their moves, and it's going to be Hermansen to the front. Now it's going to be, I do see Wahoo on the front as well. Cuthbertson, Hermansen, Tomlin, Maria Marb, Gara, Charblos, Shanks, and Kittle. Wiseman is there. And Maria Marb now continuing on, but it is going to be Cuthbertson with a pretty solid gap now at this point. I may have a Mr. Dave Toll back with us. Dave, can you hear me okay? I've got absolutely nothing from you. I'm so sorry, Dave. It's too bad. Thanks for trying. I really appreciate. I'll give it one more go on my end to see if there's anything that I can do for you. And it looks like no go, though. Thanks for trying, Dave. Appreciate it. We'll try and figure it out next time. Well, Becca.
I'm back.
Yeah,
right.
We're all good. We're all good, and we are all together here. And it looks like Leah here now with 85 seconds. I don't know that they can bring this back. I mean, we are talking about Libby Hill at about the 12.6 kilometer marker. I mean, this is right there when it comes to, we're talking just a couple of kilometers at this point, 22.2 into this. If we do a little bit of math, we're talking about another 2K to go. This ain't coming back, it looks like, but I see Merle Bruni now making moves, and that's going to make things pretty serious.
You also see 3 of those Rose Beast Mode riders at the front. So they obviously maybe acknowledged a tactical error in letting that gap get so large. No one wants to do the work here, but at the same time, letting a rider just run away with the win. Maybe we should have learned from Tiffany Penner being able to go early in that first race because nobody wanted to start the sprint. So there's a little bit of maybe we were too tactical, or was it? Oh damn, it was Lucy Harris, not Tiffany Penner. But maybe they should have learned from that going too early. So.
Well, Golden Tron at the front now, as it is going to be Guerra over the top of Merle. Merle made the move. It looks like nobody wants to drag anybody along. This is Rose Beast Mode, that looks like to me, trying to make it so that they are making other riders work to chase this down and then attack over the top and over the top over and over again. It is going to be a cover and kill by the pack, but it is going to be the rest of Rose Beast Mode, I think, continuing to attack, try and bring back as much of this time as they possibly can.
Yeah, but I mean, you see a break here happening between the front, is this 15 to 16 riders, and then the back of the pack. You definitely see this separation happening and driven by somebody like Gabby being able to hold almost 8.5 watts per kilo for a minute. That type of power is unanswerable by most of the riders in the group. So you're going to see a lot more of it, but I think that was just a taste of what they know they have in their basket. So they've clawed back 30 seconds on Leah already. So not even getting to the KOM.
Yeah, it's a great point. We do see Bridget Kittle just hanging on the back of the group here. I did see 1 or 2 riders, as you did say, struggling to hang on. It looks like, though, Guerra now directly to is Guerra actually off the back? Interesting enough. I wonder what happened here. Perhaps a dropout or something. Yep, a dropout. I'm hearing there was a dropout. We'll see if she can get back involved in the situation here. So that means perhaps no going to be making any more chases at the front here. There are a couple of more off the back here. That is going to be Vive Tomlin as well as Charbois here. Dominique. And now Guerra in a little bit of bother. This is going to be a tough one going into Libby Hill, and gets right back on, but it's right before they're about to hit the front.
I'm not worried. I think Gabby's got it. I mean, actually, I really like this setup where Harris is off the front and Gabby can go through her. She can just go straight through the group if she wanted to right now. Go, Gabby, go. And then catch up to Harris and make it a 1-2-2 up. I think they could do it.
Yeah, Garrett here sitting on, though, getting a little bit of a drink, maybe chilling out. Lucy Harris on the chase. Will she be able to bring this back? This is an interesting situation with Harris now, trying to perhaps get that 59 seconds back. But I think Cuthbertson is just going to grab all the cash on the day here when it comes to the preems, just sweeping it all up. There's no way she's getting coupled over the top of this.
No, and I think that was a tactical error by anybody who wanted to support a rider in their group getting this preem. They thought they'd let her get the first one and then they'd claw it back on the downhill, and then the group speed would be high enough that they'd catch her by this banner. But as you can see, she's all alone in the shot off the front. So little bit of a whoopsie.
I like that. And nicely done here by Leah Cuthbertson, able to grab that sprint, and the Prestige Preem, $50 up and over the top. Libby Hill KOM, and Leah Cuthbertson's going to do that. That's $100 collected just by being brave on the day. Nicely done by Leah here. She's at a steady 175 beats per minute. Looks like she's going to back on off as she's gotten the work done. It looks like that she had came to do. Collects a little bit. And, fortune favors the brave. We hear a lot of times. Nicely done. Here comes Guerra chasing down Harris, it looks like. And now the moves are seriously being made as they look to try and bring this back. But it's going to be Harris up over the top. And then it's going to be, I believe, right behind her, grabbing that other precision gift card. That is going to be Liz Gallegos, I think, stealing that away from Guerra. Now the snaps are starting to come, though, up and over the top here of Libby Hill. And I have a feeling we're going to be about to see who is actually going to be able to hang on for the duration of this race, because this is when the splits are really going to happen. But it looks like most of the pack able to hang on. Is it going to be Monument, actually, where things really start to break here, Becca?
I would say yes. I mean, this is one of those pinch points where it's a downhill followed by a sharp uphill. So you really don't want to go in at the front, because the accordion is going to roll, and collect and go over you. So I think that was why Gabby held up a little bit at that point. Although I do think she could have snapped that line. I would have liked to see them try to continue to push after the banner, but she obviously knows her positioning and she's getting into right where she needs to be before the start of this. So you'll see the back of the group just kind of unfolds over the front, and you can see everybody standing and at least going right off the front there. That's definitely, Camilla Alberg, there you go. Knew she had it in her. It's the 1-2 punch, but I would have liked to see that group split after that 20 Libby Hill banner.
Yeah, solid little push here coming in from Liz Gallegos, trying to snap things. Gabby covers it really quick. Alberg right on the wheel, it looks like. It's going to be Liz Van Houweling, also coming in Mia Kostonen, Merle Bruni. It's going to be Lisa Hansen over the top in 8th, Maria Marbin 9th, Anders Fardstrom 10th place. Now the snap is starting to happen here. Who's over the top? That's a cryo rider, actually. Who is that? Is that going to be Kostonen, I think,
yep.
Who's now coming over the top of this?
Yeah. Yes, that is. Minna Koistunen, Finnish rider. She looks like she's got a great 1 minute power as well. So she should be able to recover from that effort pretty quickly.
Top SRC rider. She was a world qualifier as well. Recently a mother too, with a newborn in the last year or 6 months. So really great to see the kind of form that she's coming into. We did see her racing, I think, Cat 3, Cat 2, and SRC, and now back into the Cat 1, and we can see exactly why as she comes up into the top of this. Now the splits are starting to happen. It looks like we are getting into a situation where the gaps are starting to open up. Top 11 have made it here. It is Lucy Harris just off the back, I think, from what I could see. Not what I was expecting from Harris, actually, to not be able to make it over the top of this, but I think she is in chase mode with one rider next to it. That is going to be Shanks, trying to chase down this pack up ahead with Harris is about to come over the top for lap number 2.
I mean, can I just do something about mothers is, that they know pain. And that's something that I saw when I was a rower and looking at people who were rowing in their 20s and 30s. The people who could really suffer the most were those that have given birth. And I gotta say, it's hard to vote against somebody once they're a recent mother, because not only do they have that power that they've built in their legs, but they have their mental capacity to look back and be like, well, not as bad as labor. So.
Well, Shanks on the wheel here. Absolutely. And it is true that I do not know from experience, but as a bystander with a few kiddos, I can at least relate in that respect, Becca, as now we do see the moves being made here as far as from Team SC trying to hang on just ahead. It is going to be Kiddo, but the moves are at the front now. Serious from Guerra, trying to really break this apart. Alberg right on the wheel there as well. It's going to be Merle Bruni just hanging on, Mina Koistunen, Elise Gallegos, Liz Van Houweling, Lisa Hermansen, and then Sarah London. That's going to be, London, I think, just off the back. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 riders with an 8-second gap. Bridget Kittle there, 12 seconds back with London just in the wheel. I think this is going to be the main group here, though, at this point.
And what I like about this group is one thing I was mentioning before about the team points from the last race was Beast Mode had Gabby off the front, but didn't clinch the win for the team on the day. And I love this split because you've got Merle Brunet and Gabby in this group. So now you've got two beast mode riders who really want to make this group stick. So they want to roll right over Leah, and they want to keep this integrity for the next lap.
Yeah, 100%. I have a feeling because of the numbers here, they are going to definitely be working for this one, as the beast mode have everything to gain. We might see some more attacks here coming from Gabby to try and make a breakaway situation. Again, Merle, will she make the chase? She is going to chase with Alberg. Then it would be 2 up from beast mode as Alberg looks to chase this down for that team Swedish Zwifters here. Alberg maybe not be able to close it down. 7 watts per kilogram coming from her here at this point, but it is going to be Guerra settling down. 4.2 watts per kilogram. Is there going to be a counter tap up one of the top, as we do see just a little back here, Hermanson as well as Kittle now trying to shut things down, trying to bring this back, but it looks like it is going to be Van Houweling just hanging on. Is Brown kind of in no woman's land? No, they're all together here with Wahoo. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the chase. As it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up front with Koisten in here. Now just sitting in for a minute.
Yeah, you've got another beast mode in here, and you've got 2 Wahoo, 2 Swedish Swifters. So I think if they're smart, they're talking on the phone and counting jerseys and saying, okay, if we can keep this separation, we've got the beast modes in a much better position than they were last week, where in that front group with Gabby, I mean, she's gonna be able to keep that gap. And then in the second group with Marb, you've got 3 beast mode in the top 10, hopefully. And then there's 1 Swedish Swifter in the front and 2 in the second group. And Wahoo, the same, has got 1 in the front and 2 in the second group. So this is exciting for team tactics.
Another move here by Guerra, trying to break this apart. Does not want this to come down to a sprint situation. So jumps again, it looks like, up and over the top. It's going to be another 10 to 11 watt per kilogram kick. Alberg being forced to chase again and taking the bait here at this point, as it is going to be Team Messi with Alberg here trying to shut this down. There's Camila, and she, one of the top riders in the world, 4th place at the World Championships. It was one of the best, for that battle for the podium between Alberg, it was one of the best battles I've ever seen, and she just barely got beat in the end and ended up taking 4th instead of grabbing that bronze medal here. So this is definitely a rider who can hang on, and it looks like she is going to be able to come across here as Koistinen settles right on down, and they do have a little bit of a gap. Will they work together is going to be the big question mark here. We do see Bruni here now. Is she going to just jump across? It is starting to separate behind now again, as Bruni could put 2 Rose Beast motors up ahead, as Alberg just sits in it here at this point. Now the game started a little bit, as they only have about 14K to go. Now on the men's side of things, they are going to be getting going about 1 minute from now. 1 minute from now for the men's race. And real quickly, everybody, I am going to right off the back make an announcement for that men's race, because we do not want them to be caught out. It is going to be the Monument Sprint, not the Broad Street Sprint, for the Spincast, everybody. Spincast Preem right from the get-go. It is Monument Sprint. Monument Sprint, everybody, for that Spincast. Make sure that you go ahead and battle it out for the Spincast Preem Monument Avenue Sprint. So with 16 seconds to go, men, if you're watching, ding, 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 $50 up for grabs at the first banner out there today. Big thanks to Spincast for sponsoring the stream. $50 cash prize as the men get out on course.
I know we're watching the men, but Van Houweling and Gallegos are also off the back. So of that front group, just as we get started on the exciting men's race, just to tap back in for a second.
Well, I am seeing here that in the ladies race, the attacks are going again, and this time it is going to be Merle Bruni. And I was talking about how she was going to be able to be one of the riders to watch out for the win out there today. She, I think on a Zwift level, she is very astute. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to sit in, use the draft. We've seen her actually beat Gabby in SRC before, specifically through using drafting situations. So I have a feeling be on the watch out for her. She's taken over in the finals of a lot of races and able to use her fatigue resistance, being that high-end triathlete. Merle Bruni might be able to take this down today.
I love it. I mean, I love that Gabby pulled that line and Merle knew just what to do to get on her wheel. That was chef's kiss.
Well, in the men's race, we'll see what's happening here as they are kicking off pretty strongly. It is going to be next presented by Insured that is on the front right from the get-go in the men's race. I have a feeling that is maybe going to be our friend Barney, perhaps, because that does have his usual, yep, it is going to be James Barnes, his usual hat going on here. I absolutely love it whenever he throws that down. James Barnes here now off the front a little bit, looking to try and grab that $50 at the Monument Avenue, but Najal has something to say about that. Always somebody that wants to throw down and bring things back. We did see Najal take down almost like every sprint so far that we've seen in these. So I have a feeling that he's going to be chasing this down and looking for that cash. But already we do see a little bit of a break starting to happen in the men's race because of this Monument Avenue sprint.
Yeah, I mean, I think that James Barnes was my vote last week. And I think the leg snapper was a little bit too much for him, but he's got it in him to be a contender in this race. And I think Najal probably has a little bit of he really likes winning those preems. So he's not going to let it go. And unfortunately, he dragged the whole pack back with him. So I guess it's a different mentality on the men's side to the women's side. They don't want to give up $50 or $100.
Yeah, and as you can see up over the top again, it is going to be James Barnes. Now Ed Laverick making the move, maybe looking that he can take down that spin cast sprint in just a moment here. And Laverick now up into that 4.5 for a second, but I did see 7-8 watts becoming for a moment. Now it's going to be Harvey Geldings from Beast Mode up over the top as well. I think it's just going to be this roller coaster over and over again, looking to try and see if they can make the split happen. Is that going to be Holden Camus? That looks like a real move. No, it's Farm Watts. Excuse me. Farm Watts now the one that's going to be making the move. Here we go. Hayden Pucker. He is the one that wants to try and make something happen here as Pucker now on the front and looking to be the one who takes this down with the pure watts. And that is the question here. Will that be the situation that it's not actually going to be a kick to the line? Pucker looking to try and grab this with his Farm Watts.
But they still have a little bit to go. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe this was the right time to go, but he's got to have confidence that he could hold it throughout this, through the turn and then back up to speed. I don't know. I think he's going to get caught.
You think so? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he's my vote to win the race, right? So obviously I believe in him, but I'm not sure. I think that was a little early.
Up into 520 watts. Not over the top. It's going to be Paul Sersky. Sersky making the move. And I have a feeling that Sersky is going to be the one to watch out for this from the long ways out. Paul Sersky, Najal now right under the wheel. It looks like here as it's going to be Najal trying to hold on to that as well. But will he be able to make that happen up and around the corner? Farm Watts now as well. Big kick coming in from him. And that might be the move to be watching out for from him. As Hayden in that national champion kits jersey, Farm Watts to the front, and Johan Norn now sitting in. Might have not been the best move here, as we do see Pucker, I think, just going to be the lead out man, perhaps, as now to the line. Najal, yep, nope, Sirski, Najal, there it is. There's the moves coming in from Najal, all the way to the line. Perhaps Sirski versus Najal, but I think it is going to be Paulo Sirski. No, Najal's got the kick. The kick is going to be coming from, again, the Norwegian, able to pull this one off. Well done, as he makes his way across the line, and that's going to be a $50 in the pocket. Big thanks to Spincast for throwing that down and making it happen today for the riders on that Monument Avenue. Now, in the women's race, we do have a whole lot going on, as it is going to be attack after attack, it looks like. And I think Gabby Guerra now doing what she does, making a move on the front. Now it's going to be Guerra versus the rest of that pack, as Bruni looks to be sitting in.
I think this is a good move at this point, because then if Gabby goes off the front, then Camilla's got to chase, and Minna's going to chase, and that gives Bruni a chance to sit in. And I think that tactically makes a lot of sense right now, because they already guaranteed that they're going to be top 5. And now Gabby going off the front means it gives Murley a chance to rest.
Yeah, I think they're just going to keep on 1-2ing this pack here at this point. I mean, you've got Koistinen and Alberg. They're not on teams together. Now, 34 seconds back to Elise Gallegos. Gallegos now in no women's land, but she is on her own on the chase here, looking for a top 5 situation. She could be able to try and chase somebody back down that might be able to fall off as well. The game is not over for Gallegos, but this is a different situation that we've seen from the past 2 races. The past 2 races, Gallegos ended up in a field sprint for second place, and in the field sprint with Lucy Harris also for second place. So will she be able to use that sprint today? Most likely not, as we do see Guerra here continue to press on the front. It is going to be Bruni and Guerra continue to open this gap up. And because of the attacks they're doing, are they going to be using up a lot of matches perhaps, though, too? Because Koistinen and Alberg might just be following these moves and covering them, and that's a lot of matches to be burning to try and break things here, isn't it?
It definitely is. I do think that Gabby probably has the biggest matchbook of them. I think Elise Gallegos also has a big matchbook, but she's not in this group anymore. So I haven't watched Camilla race enough to know how quickly she can recover, because that's something that I had actually identified as something I would love to be able to see about riders. How long does it take them to get from near death to back to ready to go? And Gabby can do it quite well, and I don't know about Koistinen, and I don't know about Camilla. So it'll be fascinating to see 23rd Street specifically with this group.
Well,
but I'm not worried about Elise, because she is a TTer. So, all by herself, she can maintain that to the end. She knows how to dial it back just, 1 notch. She knows how to use those little downhills. She's not a tiny rider, so it's not as big a drag on her to maintain, 42, 43 kilometers per hour by herself.
Koistinen now on the front, it looks like. Steady effort coming from her. Let's go ahead and take a quick look here for the men's race, because we are about to have another sprint situation. Najal here probably most likely sitting in. He likes to collect on the cash. That's his main focus a lot of times, it looks like, in these races. And we do have the Libby Hill sprint coming up quickly, as it is going to be at the 12.6 kilometer marker. Johan Norn, it's going to be Laverick now to the front, making another move as they're about to be making their way downhill. So there actually have been some interesting moves early on here, trying to couple up on the top of that Monument Street sprint. There is nothing available here at this Broad Street sprints, right? This is just trying to break things apart, because it's going to be nonstop mayhem, it looks like. It's going to be Paul Hamlet to the front, Jaldines as well, Farm Watts, Pettinger, Jeffrey Merlor is there, the rider who did win race number 2 as well, as Johan Norn now, as you can see, at 200 4.5 watts per kilogram, 147 beats per minute. It's just kind of cover and kill. Nobody really under any kind of pressure here at this point. For our man Hayden Pucker, what is the tactic? Because the reality is, I don't think that he wants this to be a sprint situation. He doesn't have the best kick. I think that he wants this just to be one of the hardest races he could possibly make it.
Yeah, I think one thing I was surprised at the women's side is they didn't push that gap between the Libby Hill and the 23rd Street. And I think that is the move that I'd like to see Hayden go for on this one. It's not really about, it's about how fast you can get over Libby Hill, but then how fast can you go through 23rd Street? So it's that 1-2 punch. And I mean, Najal's hard to predict because he does just read the draft really well. So I think he might be able to stay with a move like that. You saw in the sprint that he got behind Sersky and he just kind of like held on for a minute and then went again. He was able to use that draft to get a micro rest instead of easing. And that's dangerous when it comes to Libby Hill and 23rd Street because he's going to be able to read he has like, I don't know, tactical intelligence. He can read the room quickly. But I do like Hayden's ability to fight because he was a fighter, right? Literally.
But really, I don't know about that.
He was a Taekwondo.
Oh, you're right.
Champion.
He was a Taekwondo champion, 100%. I was thinking like in the ring. I was thinking like something like you were saying like you.
Yeah, I mean it is a ring, kind of, right?
Right. So well. Taking a look here back in with the ladies as they make their way around out on course. It is going to be all Grupo Compacto again at this point. So I get the sense that nobody really all that interested in making any kind of moves as Koivunen sits in at the front. And everybody kind of done, it looks like to me, really trying to ramp anything up. A lot of attacks. Now it's just Libby Hill. Koivunen is starting to ramp it up. 5.4, yeah, that's pretty steady effort though, as we do see the heart rate up into 160. Merlane now covering quickly. Not going to allow this to just sneak off the front. About to make their way up and over the top of Libby. Here we go. The start of Libby Hill. Bruni now holding the wheel of Koivunen. There's Gareth sitting in that second wheel. It's going to be Alberg in that fourth wheel as Alberg looks to come over the top perhaps. Now Koivunen continues to lead things out. Second time over the top of Libby, it's going to be about 23rd most likely if anybody's going to make that breakaway situation because it's only 4.1 watts per kilogram to the finish line. But Koivunen continuing to go 6 watts per kilogram. But this, I don't think, is putting too much pressure on the other ladies as she sits at the front. I think we're waiting for the attack through that bend that's coming up here. Talk a little bit about that, Becca. What is the main point to go on this Libby Hill?
So I think once you hit the cobblestones, the rolling resistance slows you down a little bit. And it's really around this corner that you need to go. So it's not right when you hit the cobbles. It's right after the cobbles slow you down that you really need to attack. And you see Koivunen off the back there. She was at her 1 minute power as she was leading into the cobbles. And I didn't think she was going to be able to stay with it as they hit that harder point, both because Gabby and Merle have like close to an 8 watt per kilo ability on the 1 minute power. That's just a watt per kilo higher, obviously. And in the steepest bit of it, if they can hit those numbers, I didn't think Koivunen was going to be able to stay with it. So it'll be interesting to see if she can claw it back leading into 23rd Street, but she'd really need a big push right here, and I don't think she has it.
Well, from the top, it is going to be the Beast Mode crew able to just hang on to a little bit of it. Now, Koivunen over the top, though. This is interesting to see. Is she going to be able to try and carry some speed? This might be the unexpected danger move coming from Mina Koivunen. I really like what she did here. Gets right back on terms and then over the top, but there is a reality of being able to sit in and use the draft in a moment here. Slingshot right on through, but Koivunen does have a nice little gap, but I'm not sure that's going anywhere, Becca.
Yeah, I mean, I think she heard me and she was like, I'm gonna tell her she's wrong, which maybe I was. However, going into this climb, I really like to be on the back so that you can unfold into the front. So I don't know. I still think that the group of three behind is playing um, the smart card.
And here they
There you
come.
go.
Koivunen trying to kick, but it's going to be Garrett to the front. Now, as you can see, Koivunen trying to hang on. She might be getting dropped here at this point, as it is going to be Garrett versus Alberg. Bruni trying to hang on. Koivunen just crawling her way back to the wheel. I have a feeling she might be able to make this happen, as it's going to be Garrett here now up and over the top, and this might be for the winning move, or at least being able to break things, it looks like, here on the ladies. Now, back over in the men's race real quickly, as there is all kinds of action going on. This is a tough race to cover across both of them. Real quickly, though, this is going to be for the Prestige Sprint here to the line, and Prestige Preen for $50 on this Libby Hill. Will we see this now? As we can see, this is going to be Ed Lavick trying to hang on. He's got it, I think. He makes the move early on. Nobody really covers it. And both of the Libby Hill Preems taken by somebody able to take the risk. They're trying to bring it back, but Ed Lavick takes it down.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that you didn't see more red numbers leading into that cobbles. Nobody wanted to go early. I guess that was a little bit of that group think that we saw on the women's side as well. They just let him get away with it.
Nicely done. Teppo Lorio over the top. Wow, look at that. Teppo with a solid effort over the top. That was some good timing from Teppo Lorio. Able to take that second place, third place as well. Both of them with some precision. Fuel for their prize for that. But Ed Lavick with the $50 in the pocket. Thought Najal we might be able to see a move from him, but Ed Lavick finally gets the better of everybody else with those moves he likes to make. Nicely done there by Ed. Let's go ahead and jump back across to the ladies. We are about to see the finish here between them. And we're just going to swap things up a little bit here, as I think the positions nearby might be better here just with a little bit of Zwiftiness. And it looks like we can get an idea of exactly where this all stands. Koivunen now with 5 seconds off the front. Will this be able to hang on? No, I see big orange numbers here coming in from Garrett. Garrett now 8 watts per kilogram. We've only got 892 meters to the line here at this point. And here they come. Merle Bruni. Is she going to be able to hold off Garrett? This is going to be beast mode versus beast mode, I have a feeling. But Alberg is going to have something to say about that out here today. Becca, do you have a prediction between these four? I mean, Koivunen keeps coming back. Will she be able to do something?
I mean, I think she's going to do it just to spite my predictions. I'm a little shocked that she's able to yo-yo this much between first and dropping off the back, but it's amazing. I'm still going to go with Gabby for this sprint. If it wasn't down to the sprint, I would stay with my Alberg prediction, but Gabby's got those afterburners that I don't think anybody can stay with at this point.
Yeah, now she's making a very early move. This is fairly all in, as we can see here at this point. Nicely done by Garrett, and she's got 2 seconds now over the rest of the pack. Merle Bruni trying to bring it back, but with 3 seconds now at this point. Bruni still chasing, but Alberg now just sitting on the wheel. But this looks like it's going to be all the way to the line. 347 meters. Garrett is going to be able to hang on. It looks like it's going to be between Bruni and Alberg to the line, but it looks like Bruni is going to be able to get the better, perhaps, Alberg, but Alberg hanging on. Garrett's going to take this down. Nicely done by Gabby as she makes it across the line, but will Bruni be able to throw this down for that second place? She hangs on to 1 second. 1 second. Garrett crosses the line. Bruni with a brutal. Oh my gosh, is she going to hang on? She just barely does. Koivunen going to be looking for that 4th place, but that's going to be your top 1, 2, 3. Alberg for 3rd. Bruni for 2nd. Nicely done by her. Koivunen comes across in 4th. Here's Gallegos out in no woman's land for most of the race. She's going to hold on for 5th, as Liz Van Hallen is holding on for 6th. It looks like Maria Marb versus Rachel Brown versus Lucy Harris behind. There's a little bit of a battle still, it looks like, with that Rose Beast Mode crew behind here at this point. So we'll get back in with them in just a second, as things are starting to ramp up even more with this group, as Alvarado. Now, this is interesting. Adrian Alvarado making a move over the top. I'm a little surprised at this, that they're letting this go. But Alvarado here, he's going to be the one that's trying to get away from the rest of this pack now. Nicely done by Alvarado, as he has a solid 4 seconds, but it is going to be Harvey Geraldines now trying to chase that down.
Yeah, we haven't. I know Adrian was in the prior races, but his 1 minute power is pretty impressive. Maybe that's why he was able to hit 23rd Street, recover, and go again for this. But I don't know if he's trying to get separation or he's just naturally had it after 23rd Street downhill.
Well, Farm Watts is like, okay, enough is enough. Let's go ahead and see what we can make happen here. As I have a feeling he is done with the riders sitting around, especially up over the top of this climb. This is somewhere where you really do want to make a move like this, because a lot of the riders are going to be hurting, right? So making a move at 5.2 watts, becoming 446 watts, getting the speed up and going here at this point. We do see 39 kilometers per hour. And this is when everybody's hurting, waiting. And this is one of those sections, of course, where I just want a wheel. You don't want anybody to be pressing any longer. You're just waiting for these flats to start to kick in. You just went through 3 of the sharpest climbs in the world of Zwift racing, and then people start attacking. That's exactly what Najal's doing. Sersky's doing as well. They know that people have their hearts in their throats at this point, Becca, and I have a feeling that this might be the split we're looking for.
Yeah, it looks like I like that they're working together. They really seem to they're potatoing, I guess is what I termed it last time. And I do like how they definitely have the team tactic in mind, just like the Rose Beast mode on the women's side. Having 2 people together in a group, especially if you're off the front in a smaller group, just really makes it easier to play around. And Nair's in there too, right?
Yeah, Zach is in here. Zach Nair has made this group, it looks like. Johan Norn is here as well. That's a great rider to be watching out for. Norn, always somebody who's got a really good engine on him, and he likes the breakaway situations, likes to make those kind of moves. Najal now continues on. That's a good wheel to be on, as we can see. It's going to be Farmwaf, Sersky, Fleebus, Najal, and Laverick here looking to make this main move.
Yeah, and this is what 6 people. Who's in the front group? 4 in the front. Laverick chasing. This is just too strung out. I feel like this can come back together easily. And if I was the potatoes at this point, I'd be counting jerseys and saying, okay, we need to push right now. Like, it doesn't matter that you're wasting watts a little bit. If they can get a gap and maintain a gap, then it's going to be the race. The race is going to be over, meaning they can just maintain that group. But they really have to split it. 1 second, 2 second on these flats, and this new draft dynamic is too close.
Yeah, I mean, between these, I mean, the efforts are extremely insane here at this point, as Dant can see that this is starting to go. He looks to jump across, and I have a feeling that Dant didn't want anybody to really be on his wheel at this point, because he does see his teammates up ahead. So he's got Sersky, he's got Najal up there, and he didn't want to drag anybody with him. That's exactly what's going on here. So we can see that we do have the speed potatoes again doing what they are dangerous about, isn't it? They like to make moves like this and try and separate later in the race. They want to win this outright. They want it to be a 3-up, just like we saw last time. Looks like it's happening.
Yeah, in the first race, they were definitely able to do that on the out and back end. And maybe they just need a longer, harder effort in order to work their magic. Because last week, they weren't able to do it on Innsbruck Ring, or 2 weeks ago. So maybe the combination of Libby Hill and 23rd Street is enough to give them some separation on the field. Because it does look like, at this point, they've got a gap. This is a good gap for them.
Yeah, at about 4 seconds, Sebastian Ho tried to bring this back. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening here at this point. Looking at the main riders, Johan Norn Did he make the group or did he fall back? I think Noren's here. Yeah, Noren's actually here on the front. Yeah, so there's Noren on the lower camera. Daunt there in the lower right as well, able to make this move as well. Phlebas now up and over the top. Farm Watts is in here as well. So the pressure is on, as you can see. A little bit of looking around. It looks like Noren is really the one who's putting the serious effort down between the rest of these riders at this point. Up and out of the saddle, just trying to continue this on as he holds on to Najal's wheel. Najal now pressing on 6.2 watts per kilogram with a double jersey, it looks like here at this point. Noren now 7 watts per kilogram. Is he going to come right up over the top? Daunt sits up for a moment, 2 watts per kilogram. And now is he going to go to the back? Tugels now comes across as well. Great to see that Leonard Tugels is able to make this. And now we've got a whole different situation because they brought something back. We've got 9 riders. Cosette 20 seconds back now, as you can see. So this is a totally different situation. I think they did see that a few riders were able to bring things back together. So a little bit of sitting up, a little bit of looking at each other again. They thought the break was going to happen. Now everybody kind of resets. And at the back, you're sitting in at 4.6. Farm Watts now continues on into Ruben Daunt's wheel. Daunt now presses on.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Speed Potatoes, I would try to create a break where Beast Mode was not able to follow, because you got 3 in here and you've got 2 Rose Beast Mode. So Rose Beast Mode sitting in 3rd, Speed Potatoes is sitting in 2nd in the team standings. Not so far apart, so 4 points apart. So if I was Speed Potatoes, I would be trying to create a little breakaway if I was worried about the Beast Mode men that were in here. So I guess it's a little, are you worried about Phlebas? Is Najal worried about Phlebas? Is he worried about, how do you say his last name? Yeldness?
Yeldness, yeah, that's how I usually say it as well. Yeah. One rider I would really be thinking here about as well is Tugels. Leonard Tugels. And that bronze medal he was able to earn. This is a rider who likes attrition. He's a rider who likes it when the road gets difficult. And we've not seen him on the front very much. I have a feeling that Leonard Tugels may be kind of sitting around here a little bit, covering moves, and waiting for those punchy back ends of the course.
And he's a solo actor, so he's a little bit of a chaos monkey, as well as Hayden, right? Hayden's riding with RWB. Those solo actors have like an interesting role to play in these races, and I like the dynamic of having team tactics and individual tactics coming together. It's a nice series.
Noren up on the top again. Interesting to see. I was not expecting anybody to keep on pressing the pace too much. I thought this was going to calm right on down, but Noren now, here he goes. 6.6 watts per kilogram. Maybe that's because he did see a little bit of a chase coming in from behind or just wants to keep things very difficult. It could be a situation where a rider like Johan knows that when they come over the top of the climbs, he may not be able to hang on. So let's make things difficult now. See if we can get a split. Now we just see Farm Watts making another move. Here goes Pucker up and over the top. Pucker now really starting to press that pace. We see him up in a 7-8 watts per kilogram. Tugel's now following very closely, as it is going to be Farm Watts laying it down. Noren trying to cover. He's got a little bit of a gap actually, but Phlebas covers quickly.
Yeah, I think they're looking for that rally car action, like get the speed super high as you hit the downhill, and then the added momentum of negative grade is going to pull you faster. I do think that the new draft dynamics make that a little harder. You have to push a little harder in order to get separation in the first place, especially on the downhill or uphill. So the higher the grade, the more impact it has, but it's a little harder to make that move.
Well, Christoph,
but it's right about here. They're just about to hit the downhill.
Calming right on down. You can see in the rider cam here with Phlebas. Gets a little bit of a drink. And as you did say, this is a section, of course, where they probably will settle down a little bit. Downhills are the new uphills, we like to say sometimes. And sometimes you can catch people off guard a little bit, can't you? I mean, Phlebas at the back here, he looks really calm.
Yeah, I mean, I love attacking where it doesn't necessarily, it's not predictable. So I love that element of it. And downhills are just a place that especially if you have gravitas, like if you've got a little extra in your legs, maybe in your legs or someplace else, downhills can really be a spot for you to shine. And I wonder if we're going to see that here.
Well, here we go with Christoph Liebes sitting at the back. Going to be sitting in as we do see into the downhill. Harvard Gelding's now making the move as we do see 6.4 watts coming from him into Rose Beast mode with plenty of representation as well. RWB with the farm watts man though, as he now goes up and over the top. 7.2 watts per kilogram coming from him. Pucker now up into 600 watts, and this is a man who can hold 500 watts for quite a long time. Johan Norn looking to jump right on this, and this is the downhill. This is a section where he might be able to pull something off. We do see Rubendot sitting in. Tugels now looking to go across. They know this is a danger moment. This might be something with 3 off the front. They were willing to work on this downhill. We could see a breakaway situation happen here where it would be completely unexpected, but we're going to have to see something really make a move. They're going to have to work together with this. They've got the distance, but they need to commit at this point.
Yeah, and it actually looks like Nijal is off the back. He's put in a big effort to catch, but I think he was caught out trying to just hang on and sit in that draft pocket. And when they pulled that line in the front, he's having to work hard, which also means that the two speed potatoes in the now chase group are not wanting to work so that they can stay together. So that group split right up with that move. And Farm Watts, Hayden's one of those that has that gravitas that I was saying, like not a small rider.
7.2 watts per kilogram. Geldings. Tugels. Tugels knows that this is a serious move. He looks to try and jump across, it looks like at this point, as he knows that if they get this gap, it could be game over. Leonard Tugels up into 63 kilometers per hour. They do just barely get this shut down. It looks like Nijal now going to be going across. They don't quite have the contact yet. We do see Hayden still at the front driving this, and this may split it, but does he still have the effort to do so? They do just barely grab back on. It was touch and go for a moment there, but now it's all back together. I am so surprised. Now, Laverick, watch out. Is he hurting? Dant has also been sitting up, and now look at Ruben Dant up and over the top. I love this move. They see that Farmlops is done with the moves he was making, and so Dant goes up and over the top with the speed. The Yelding's right on it as well. Covers and kills. Beast mode with the numbers. Cover and kill from Harvard Yeldings. They got these gaps over and over again. If they can work with them, if they can do something with them, is Laverick going to make another move? Is there anything in the engines left from the rest of the riders? As Ed Laverick goes up into the top.
I mean, he looks pretty comfortable. His heart rate's not too high, and he's been sitting in so far. So this is a good position for him to be in as it goes into, whoop, and there he goes. I was going to say it's a good position for him to sit in the front couple going into the KOM, but maybe that was not his intention. I just feel like you should have like a conversation with the riders immediately after to be like, did you mean to do that? Was that on purpose?
Sierski now making a move, it looks like, toward the front. 5.8 watts per kilogram. Tugels. Dant at the back. Dant now 4.6 sitting in. Laverick now second wheel at the back. Sierski now back to the front. Josh Power just hanging out at the side of the road, it looks like. Looks like Power here done for the day. Interesting enough. Sierski now unable to make them move any longer. It looks like he's going to be brought back in as Farm Watts now down to 2.9 watts per kilogram. 3.8 now, all settled right on down. And I have a feeling that's not who we're looking at right now. That's Josh Power. But I think Josh might be done for the day. I wonder what happened there. As
he ran out of power.
Yeah, ran out of power. As... yeah, we're just gonna keep on getting Josh's image. I think he's hacking in the background of what he's up to. Is Pucker now as we can see, making his way to the front. We're all looking at Libby Hill. Will we see the only move is going to be the question. I have a feeling that everybody's going to wait till it goes uphill. Nobody wants to be the person to lead things out into an uphill grind. These will be the last 3 bumps on the day today to try and win this one outright. Top 3 get paid today. And will it be Najal that can take this down? Dant, who stole it from him in the sprint in race number 1 of the Prestige Series? Or will it be someone new? Tugel's jumping in today. He's been sitting in a lot, just covering the moves. I have a feeling Tugel's has a lot of matches ready to go still.
I don't know. I also think Hayden's still in it. And he was my choice. So I'm going to go with him. I really think that I love the dynamic of having 3 of a team, because they can just do whatever they want. And they know they have the numbers to have someone cover, like, does someone need to push hard and then recover? So then you have someone go into the second to last position to sweep. It's kind of a win-win for them.
A good call.
They can have someone pull the line here if they want Najal to do the cobblestones, so they don't have to do it all.
Looks like we do have a camera from Ed. I didn't think that we actually did, but looks like Laverick is here with us. We're going to have to see how this is going to play for Laverick, as we do see Geraldines making the first move, it looks like. Arvin Geraldines to the front. 9.4 watts per kilogram coming in from him. Dant now covering very quickly. 10.4 watts per kilogram coming from Ruben Dant, as he looks to cover the move by Geraldines. And this is going to be all about cat and mouse. A lot of people playing a lot of games here at this point. I get the sense that these are some tired legs. A lot of these riders, I have a feeling, don't have a whole lot left to give, as now Geraldines continues on. 8.2 watts per kilogram. Here comes Dant up into 10 watts per kilogram. What can Najal do? Now sitting on the wheel. Look at Tugel still sitting in. 9 watts per kilogram coming in. Laverick just off the back. I have a feeling that Laverick here is in the suffer mode, is not going to be able to pull this off, as it's going to be Geraldines continuing on the front. Ruben Dant, though, here's the situation with Ruben in that second wheel. It's going to be Phlebas on his wheel as well. Najal is there. Farm Watts trying to come across 1 second gap to him, but Tugels now sits up again. But is he going to make the move? Leonard Tugels, that's going to be the big question mark for me. Will the bronze medalist still have something left in the tank? He likes to leave it till the final move, and I have a feeling there's still a couple of matches to burn before he's comfortable with making any kind of moves.
I mean, everybody looks like they're suffering if you look at their heart rates. But the crazy thing is, this race is not that long, and there is a lot of chill period in those fan flats, but the hills are just so intense that it just sucks the energy right out of you.
Real quickly, jumping in with Laverick. He did fall off the back here for just a moment. The suffering is real here from Ed. Nice job, Ed, making your way through with these front runners for a top 10. But Laverick off the back now is going to have to fight for the scraps from the table, as it is going to be back into 23rd Street. Here comes Najal. Najal with a full gas effort. It's up into 792 watts, 11.2 watts per kilogram. Don trying to hang on as well. Nice job from him, but it's going to be Najal really with the kick. Now it's going to be Phlebas sitting on, though, as Phlebas might be leading us over. Farmwatt's trying to hang on, but here comes Paul Sersky. Sersky with the move over the top. That's what we've been looking for, is what will be that move that puts the nail in the coffin. And it is Paul with the move on the front. Dant now 1 second back. We've got 2 speed potatoes making the move.
And I would say that they are away, but what we saw on the women's side with Koistinen is she was able to just yo-yo and really close gaps that were 5-6 seconds. So I don't think it's done yet.
This is so close, actually. Absolutely crazy what we're seeing here between the riders now, as we do see a big push here coming from Ruben Dot. Farm Watts there. There's Pucker now just sitting in. He's sitting in about third wheel back here. Not really making any kind of chase. It's going to be Geraldine's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the chase. Farm Watts leading the chase out. Sersky's in and amongst with Dant at the front. So they're off the front here with a 1 second gap. Will they continue on? That's going to be the big question, because Ruben Dant here, 4.5, 5 watts per kilogram. They've got the gap, but the question is, do you do anything with it at this point? Tukels is actually off the back. I thought perhaps he was going to have some more matches than this, but he's 3 seconds back here at this point. As we can see now, up and out of the saddle is going to be Mr. Hayden Pucker looking for that final climb.
So Togo's actually is now closed and coming through, and his heart rate looks like he's ready to go. He's only at 166. Oh, 168. He's got room to go. But Farm Watts has
right.
that total mass. I don't
know. You might be right. It's going to be a big question mark about whether or not Hayden over the top has a wheel and can just drive the pace. Does Tukels have anything left here at this point? Was he playing it smart? Was this all about sitting in until this point? But here comes the job. It is going to be the Norwegian. He has taken it time and time again, and perhaps he let Libby Hull go specifically for this moment. It could be all about for the win. Sacrifice Libby Hill $50 to go for a 10 watt per kilogram kick over the top of Governor Street. I think this is over.
I think Shersky was actually trying to block a little bit there. You saw him go down to 6 watts a kilo and just try to prevent Teugels from following that move by Najal, which I love to see that.
I mean, at this point, I don't think that anyone's doing anything about this. This is going to be Pedersen for the win. He's got 6 seconds over the top. It's like he's in another universe at this time. Now it's going to be Ruben Dant trying to make a kick. No, Dant sinks in. He's not going to do anything more at this point, because Ruben is not going to be chasing his teammate. He's going to wait for a sprint. Now it's going to be Hayden Pucker behind here. He's got a gap, 6.4 watts per kilogram, but here comes Paul Sersky. Oh my gosh, he's going to come right down to it. It's only a few hundred meters, but it is going to be Najal. Najal takes this one down. Farm Watts trying to hang on, but I don't think it's going to happen. Here comes a sprint. Will he be able to do it? It's going to be right to the line. Can he do it? No, it looks like it's going to be Dant at the line with Fleebus for third. It looked like to me. What a move. Farm Watts, I think, took 4th place. It was so close.
That's sad. I was rooting for him. I was watching that, and I was like, just hold on 1 more minute. All right, buddy, you did great.
Came right down to it there, as you can see. Let's see if I can get some results coming on in. And it looks like we just got the top 8 so far, so we'll have to wait on that one. We can go ahead and take a quick look at the ladies' results, actually, and how they played out, as we do have those up and ready to go for the top 10. And we can go ahead and bring them right on in here. It is going to be for the ladies. Gabrielle Laguerre taking it down at the top for first place, followed by Merle Bruni, followed by Camelia Alberg in 3rd place. So it is going to be Rose Beast Mode that's able to take down that solid 1-2. SZ there with Camelia Alberg in 3rd. Mina Koistinen in 4th. Elise Gallegos, followed up by Liz Van Houwelingen, Lisa Hermanson, Sarah London, Maria Marb, and Anna Zvardstrom. That is the women's results for your top 10. Across over in the men's, I do believe we will start beginning some more of the men's coming on in here. Laverick just coming across the lane. Cahill as well as Havo. Kayan, big sprint finish to the line between the top 20, actually, as they just came on through. Nicely done by them. And I do believe our man Dean Cunningham, who is our race director, actually, making his way to the line. Let's see what he can pull off, as we'll go ahead and call it out. Big thanks to Dean and crew from Restart making this happen. Tepo Lorio getting his fitness back as well. Daniel Mundell is there with Pettinger also coming to the line as he finishes it up. Colstead is just ahead of him. That is for top 25. Is Mundell on the Restart team with that Restart kit. looking to try and finish up ahead. It looks like he's going to make this happen. Just ahead of this crew as Mundo. Really solid rider. I raced with him in the SRC in that Cat 2 often, 4.9 watts per kilogram, and able to pull off a top 25 amongst these big hitters. I'm not sure who the Fuji rider is, as we do ask for in real life your regular names. It is going to be Fuji, though, making a move here and able to get away from L'Oreal. Tepo L'Oreal, next one, cross line for 27th. We'll call out the top 30 as Adrian Alvarado is here as well. I think we're going to see a little bit of sprint from him, as I think Alvarado is battling out actually with Cunningham. Great to see here as our man Alvarado up and out of the saddle. Big kick from him. The Chilean. Will Cunningham be able to get him? I'm not sure Cunningham's going to do it as Alvarado sits up. Here comes Dean. Dean Cunningham, our man. Not going to be able to pull it off, it looks like here, as I do think we do have some images coming from him. Come on, Dean. Go and get him as he comes across the line. Chilling out. Alvarado versus Cunningham. Love to see it. And big thank you to Dean, who helps put everything together. It's been awesome to see what he's done here with Prestige and the entire Restart crew. So let's go ahead and take a quick look. I do believe we're going to have beyond our top 10 here at this point for the results, as they should. It looks like we got top 8 still. We'll see if we can get an update on that, as Don's giving us a big thank you so much, Don, as well, for coming on in and racing with us tonight. I think Ruben Dant there for second, followed up by Christoph Flebus. Nice one for Rose Beast Mode there. That is going to be more speed potatoes at the top. 9 seconds back for that sprint, as Najat was able to take it down over the top of Governor Street by about 8-9 seconds. Nice kick from him. Farm Watch just off the podium, unable to hang on to that gap that he opened up. Dougal's in for 5th. It's going to be Johan Norn, followed up by Paul Sersky, and then Arvid Geldings. That is your top 8 so far. As well, that's going to be it from us here. Becca, real quick, final thoughts on the Dave today. The day today, not Dave, but the day today, as we lost Dave on the day for the talent.
I'm sad that we lost Dave on the day, but I was happy to be able to talk more, because I enjoy talking about the team. I wish that I was able to reinforce that they were actually doing it intentionally, but I did love to see the Rose Beast Mode's moves. I loved what Gabby did to break that group in the second lap. And I loved to watch the Speed Potatoes do a similar thing on the men's side. So that's really where I find it interesting, and I find it applaudable, very admirable to see people work together and make things happen. So, and also, I'm so sorry, Hayden. That was a really crap snipe at the line, even though it was good work.
It was a close one. It was definitely a close one for Pucker. He tried to make it happen. It was difficult right from the get-go. Non-stop attacks, top-level racing. We really appreciate everything that Prestige has put together to make this happen. So, well, everybody, that's going to be it from us here for this race number 3. We really appreciate everybody stopping in for the broadcast. We will be back at the beginning of next month for race number 4. It is on the London Loop. You can head over to leadoutesports.com if you do want to jump on it. It is 3 laps of a scratch race, 693 meters of climbing on 44.7 kilometers between the men and the women. January 8th will be Prestige Season 1 race number 4. So head on over to leadoutesports.com, sign on up. We've got a lot more coming your ways. Multi-category racing will be coming soon, as well as the Swedish Cup and what was announced yesterday with Canadian National Championships. So make sure to head over to leadoutesports.com, and we will see you in just a few weeks for Prestige Season 1, the finale with race number 4, as well as the start of the Swedish Cup and what's coming with Canadian Nationals, as well as some lead-out events. So be on the watch out for those. Again, last one there, leadoutesports.com for all that information. I'm Nathan Garrett. Thanks, everybody, tuning in. And as always, you know it. Right on.